Hello and welcome to The One Show with Matt Baker.
And Alex Jones. Tonight's guest has cooked for world leaders and Hollywood A-listers, but on Christmas Day, he's going to open up his kitchen to you.
Yes, he is. And to tell us why, it's Gordon Ramsay.
Happy to be here. Thank you for having me. Good to see you, man.
Now, usually you spend Christmas with the Beckhams. Very nice, very nice. But this year, are you mad? You're going to be at home with the television crew.
I know. Every chef in the country cooks on Christmas Day, and more importantly, it is the most stressful day of the year. So I'd like to make that a little bit easier for you. And I only told Tana yesterday when she started seeing these trucks arrive. What we're doing with all these trucks outside, we're cooking live.
And how was she with that?
Well, yeah, we have 4 amazing kids, so they're my sous chefs for the day. Okay. We've got some spectacular guests as well, but I'm going to have fun with it.
So you're going to get all the present opening out the way first before you start?
Big time. But they'll do breakfast, a little present, cook along live.
Yeah.
And if they do well, and they're proper sous chefs, they get their main present for dinner.
Nice.
Well, to get us all in the mood for Gordon's Christmas Day cook-along, we're going to have a little dry run here on The One Show tonight.
Yes, hopefully some of you got the ingredients from the website, and hopefully you've got a telly in your kitchen. If not, just indulge yourself in Christmas food and make a note of the tips.
Yeah, now Gordon, you've got about a minute to
Yes.
get them all started at home.
Ready?
So tell us what you're making as you walk towards the kitchen.
The most amazing pheasant dish, and this is going to be done with a fantastic pancetta. Brussels sprouts. Hi, buddy. Good to see you. Can you cook? No? In 20 minutes' time, you're going to be able to, let me tell you that. So, first off, foremost important thing, get your pans really nice and hot. You cannot cook with cold pans. So, I'm going to fry off the pancetta, chestnuts, and start searing the pheasant. A nice introduction to game.
Now then, pheasant, is it?
Yes.
Now, pheasant is a bit posh, isn't it?
Do you think so?
Well, I've never had pheasant before, to be honest.
You know.
No.
Have you ever plucked a pheasant?
Never. I've done a pigeon, but never a pheasant.
Turkey?
Yeah, well, indeed. So, yeah, there are options as well. If you don't want pheasant, you can use chicken. And
chicken or guinea fowl.
Okay, yeah.
And it's a really nice introduction to game. So it's sort of tasty, very lean, very healthy bird.
Oh, good.
And it's a very, very cheap bird as well.
Go for it.
Thank you.
As you were saying, are your pans hot? Yes, they
Pans are getting hot. I'm going to season the breast and the legs. Now, to cook it quickly, we've taken the bone out. So if you don't want to do that, you can ask your butcher to do it for you. To start off, in a little bit of olive oil. Why? If we go too early with the butter, it will burn. So we'll get that sort of nut brown flavour too early. I want to finish the pheasants with the butter at the end.
Okay.
Now, the BBC gas or electric is not working as fast as I wish it was.
Oh, well, don't worry.
It's going to get there, definitely.
Yeah.
Now, bacon in. Okay. Now, the reason why I'm not going to start taking any oil to the bacon is I want to render that down. So I'm going to get that sort of in a dry pan, get the pan nice and hot, and the fat will release. I don't want a greasy pheasant dish. I want it nice and light, slightly creamy, but with no grease.
Okay, well, hopefully everybody at home is following along.
Yes.
If you are, get your camera out, take a photo, send it in, and we'll hopefully show some a little bit later on.
We'll be back with Gordon in a bit for the next stage of the cook-along with more great tips for cooking at Christmas.
Yes, is it hot enough now? We can hear it sizzling.
It's
definitely working.
It's working.
Good.
All right. But now Anita Rani has been Christmas shopping with a difference.
Wonderful shot of the pheasant cooking there in the pan. Gordon, what have you been up to over the last 5 minutes and what are you moving on to?
Well, first of all, it smells delicious, right?
Yeah.
Got a really nice sear on the pheasant. The skin is nice and crispy. Never be scared of the skin because it's delicious. Once we've got that colour on the pheasant, finish that with some really nice butter. Now, really important, once the butter melts, take the spoon and just start basting the pheasant. So what this does, it keeps the pheasant really nice and moist. We've got the colour on the skin. You can see the bacon. Okay, now all that fat's rendered out, and I want a little bit of that sort of smoked sort of bacon fat, and that just makes that pheasant taste so much better. The skin is nice and crispy. We're going to keep it really nice and pink, and it's going to rest for as long as it cooks.
Okay, and what's the next stage then?
Now, the next stage, once we've got that pancetta really nice and crispy, we're going to put our chestnuts in. Okay, now the chestnuts will absorb all that flavour of the pancetta.
Have they been roasted already?
They've been dry roasted, and then literally grated.
Good knowledge, Matt.
Yeah. At the end, we're going to add the Brussels sprouts.
Okay.
Which you've chopped very finely or grated?
You know, both ways, actually, Matt. That's a very good question. You can either grate them or slice them very, very thinly. It's a really nice way of eating Brussels sprouts.
Okay, so you're pulling the pheasant out and the sprouts go into the pancetta.
Absolutely.
Right. Okay, well, while Gordon carries on with his festive treat, Lucy Siegel is trying to put together a fantasy Christmas dinner with the help of a few well-known culinary masters.
Now, as anybody who has sampled my cooking will testify, I am no domestic goddess. Consequently, cooking the Christmas dinner, well, it's a bit of a challenge. So I'm calling on TV chefs past and present for some help. To begin, some highbrow advice from the irreplaceable Fanny Craddock on what to do with the Christmas bird.
Christmas goose. The kind of thing, you know, that the maiden aunt says, oh, I can't eat goose because, you see, it does repeat so. Well, this way you get rid of all this extra fatty substances. Prod it all over. Think of somebody you've never really liked, but you're too well bred to say what you think of them, so you take it out on the goose and feel it stabbed all over.
Gordon Ramsay! Gordon Ramsay! Gordon Ramsay! Only joking, Gordon.
Dip your hands into thin honey. The surplus fat erupts over all those little holes, doing its own basting, and you end up with a gorgeously crisp skin, but the fat runs down into the baking tin below.
Of course, no Christmas would be complete without all the trimmings, including sultry supermom Nigella, who claims to have the recipe for perfect roast potatoes and Brussels sprouts.
These have been parboiled, but instead of dredging them in flour, I dredged them in semolina. And there's a sweetness to semolina and a slight graininess that makes them incredibly crunchy. Now the sprouts, I prepare making a cross incision here just to help them cook more evenly. I love this part. It's quite relaxed, a bit of mindless, repetitive activity, which creates actually a feeling of calm.
What? Oh. I'll finish those later. On to dessert. And luckily, a fresh-faced Delia Smith is on hand with a recipe that will put even the most well-stocked drinks cabinet under immense strain.
And now we get to the exciting bit, and that's all the booze. Rather a lot. 3 tablespoons of brandy to start off with. 3 tablespoons of rum, the dark rum. And even more, I'm afraid, 3 tablespoons of cherry brandy. And finally, Christmassy ingredient, 3 tablespoons of port. All I can say is you just have to keep thinking, well, it is Christmas.
I got a little bit behind on the pudding, but the dinner is ready. The goose is cooked. Just not very well. It seems not everybody can be taught to cook. But Delia, Fanny, Nigella, thank you for trying.
Ah, and thanks to you, Lucy. Now then, interestingly, Nigella said that you do put a cross on the sprouts. Where do you stand on this?
One thing I'm not going to do is argue with the beautiful Nigella, let me tell you.
You can't put a cross on any of those, though, because it's all shredded.
And also, you know, I grew up with Mum crisscrossing the sprouts on a sort of annual basis, and I said, Mum, they're overcooked. However, do you know, it's sort of different horses.
Now, some people won't recognise the fact that those are sprouts, but you have finely chopped them, as you said, just before the film there.
Yeah, there's 2 ways. You can actually cut them in half and blanch them in boiling water for 30 seconds, literally on Christmas Eve, and actually sauté them on Christmas Day like we're going to be doing in terms of live. But to get it done quickly, in amongst sort of 20 minutes, and the most amazing sous chefs, brilliant. It's a really nice way to slice them very, very finely.
Because interestingly, you're doing all of this in a frying pan. Not using an oven or boiling anything or anything.
Absolute definite, without a doubt. And do you know, I want the flavour in there, Matt. So I've got that nice roasted pancetta, but the chestnuts has absorbed that flavour of the pancetta, and now I've got these nice sort of lightly grated sprouts. I'm going to add a touch of cream.
Ooh.
Okay. The pheasant is resting. If you just touch the top of that, you can just see how nice and crispy that skin is.
Oh, yeah. Your hands clean, Emma.
Yes, they are, don't worry. We clean them beforehand just to make sure, because we weren't going to be helping.
Leave them alone.
That looks nice, actually. Right. So, Cookalaong Christmas, then.
Yes.
You'll be doing the same sort of thing, obviously, but Christmas dinner, presumably. But it's not just cooking along, is it? You've got some guests popping in.
We've got some great guests. And also, you know, everywhere I go, I'm asked, listen, who cooks Christmas lunch for you?
Yeah.
I do it myself with the children. Tana helps them. But this year, we're going to go live from 10 a.m. in the morning to 2 o'clock. We'll start off in the morning with the raw turkey.
Yeah.
We've got some fabulous guests coming round. The amazing young magician Dynamo, Russell Grant, and the Hoff. Not too sure
really?
His skills, so they're going to come round and...
They're all coming to your house,
and get involved, which will be great.
Will you have some canapes for these people as well?
It's very posh.
4 hours, though. 4 hours is a long time, isn't it? I mean, that's a lot of cooking.
That depends on how big the bird is. So our bird's going to take about 2.5 hours to 3 hours to cook. Yeah. And then I want it to rest. All these nice little trimmings, a little starter of smoked salmon, and then to get away from that trifle, that Christmas pudding, that big rich thing, we're going to do a really nice Christmas trifle.
Okay. Do you use like
a sherry in it?
Depends how fast I'd like Mum to get to sleep.
Okay, good. So, what's the next stage then? Because we're coming up to our next film.
Yeah, good. So we've got a little bit of cream in there.
Yeah.
We'll finish that with some fresh flat leaf parsley. So we've got 3 or 4 ingredients in there.
Yeah.
And the nice thing about this is the fact that when it goes onto the plate, we've got that really nice contrast of those wonderful, rich, creamy colours. Be quite generous with the sprouts. I mean, in a way, it looks more like sort of cabbage as opposed to sprout, but the flavour is incredible.
Well, we'll have a look at the finished product in a minute.
Okay, great.
If you are cooking along at home, you've got 4 minutes to catch up. It's now on to some more winter scran, but for a very different customer. Over to Mike Dulger. Thanks ever so much, Mike. Interestingly, Gordon, you were telling us there that you have parrots sometimes flying around your garden.
Where do you live?
In Wandsworth, do you know what? I think they're posh parrots. And more importantly, I'm slightly concerned of the cats. They jump, they get higher and higher and higher, and I'm sure on Christmas Day they're going to land one for lunch. Beautiful parrots.
They are your neighbour's parrots.
They are my neighbour's parrots.
There we go.
And
Okay.
then we've plated the pheasant and the sprouts. And you were just telling us very quickly that there's a way of plating food like this.
Yeah, everyone gets a little bit stressed out about how you put food on the plate. You know, I always say, let it sit naturally. I like the main ingredient, the protein, sitting around 6 o'clock. The veg to 10 o'clock, garnished right-hand side, but just keep it simple. Nothing worse when you start plating food on the side of the plate, because when you go to eat it, it gets messy, comes off, and then it just goes everywhere.
Especially if you're on a lap tray.
So,
well, sitting at...
on a lap tray.
I don't eat on a lap tray, just to clarify.
Well,
anyway.
Yes, sitting at 9 o'clock to us, we've got some fruit, which is the dessert we're moving on to.
Yeah, Christmas Day is a very stressful, big day, so I always like to keep it a little bit lighter. You do not want to eat Christmas pudding straight after that big lunch. So, Knickerbocker Glory, Cookalaong Live, we're going to be doing a really nice trifle, but a nice festive trifle with a sort of delicious Swiss roll. This is something a bit fun with the kids, so we have a little bit of a sort of jelly making Christmas Eve.
Good.
Does that go in first?
That's honeycomb.
Yeah.
So we're going to start off with a little touch of honeycomb. You can put a little bit of honeycomb at the bottom.
Okay.
Thank you.
Here we go.
Excellent. On top of that, jelly. The nice thing about a Knickerbocker Glory is the textures.
Let's just move it there so
and the sort of
can
crunch,
see it.
and you can build. Touch more, please.
Oh.
So.
Pile it in. Don't be shy, Alex. Come on.
Anyone will think you're paying for it. And now some more fruit, please. Some tangerine.
There we go.
Okay, there's 5 minutes now to finish the whole meal. You're confident you're going to do that?
Do you know what?
We're almost there, aren't we?
I'm confident.
Yeah. Okay. Well, in the meantime, Ruth Goodman is looking back at what life was like after the war on the aptly named Christmas street.
As Gordon places the final touches to the dessert, we can tell you other Christmassy themed residents include 92 houses on Rudolph Road and 15 houses on Sprouts Lane.
Now, if you live at a festive address, let us know and we'll read some out tomorrow on the show.
Yes, so it's time for the taste.
Sprouts Lane.
Yeah, sounds good. Right, can I have a knife and fork?
Please.
Where are they? Oh, they're over there, great.
Here we go. Thank you.
Well, I'll do the pudding then.
Yes, I'll dive into the main. So
now, a little bit of caramel sauce on top.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just going to finish this with a little shard of beautiful dark chocolate.
Oh, that's good.
A quick recap on this then. It's pheasant,
sprouts, pancetta, and some chestnuts. And...
Oh, it's amazing.
Done.
Go.
Yeah.
That is absolutely amazing.
Simple and delicious.
How's that? There we go.
Nice.
Thanks to Adam for following the recipe as well.
I think you're a bit behind, Adam.
And a lovely little
We've got
picture
some
there.
more here.
Yeah,
Sorry,
Tunbridge Wells.
Of
course. There we go, look. That's Eleanor Thomas for helping along there.
Bless her.
So if you would like more festive dishes, of course, you can follow Gordon on Christmas Day with a Christmas Day cook-along from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. Christmas Day.
Yeah, this one's from Shan Robertson, by the way, as well. Ingredients are all on our website, and we'll see you tomorrow with Ruth Jones. Have a lovely evening.
Finishing this off.
Bye.
See you later.
Gordon.
Thank you.
This is tremendous, Gordon.
Back in.
Oh, no.